Hello, hello, hello everybody. Welcome back to Mindustry. I believe last time we played, it's been 2 or 3 days, What the fuck is this? What? Okay. I don't know what that is. I was gonna say last time we played that we conquered a bunch of facilities and set up face valve production. What the fuck happened to Salt Flats? Salt Flats unconquered itself? Are we gonna have a chat about my main base being unconquered?
I need to engage in homicidal behavior on a massive scale.
I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm actually flabbergasted by it. So, I don't know what happened. I don't know why my map data got wiped like this. From what I remember, I remember idling for like 10 minutes at the Salt Flats to build up resources in order to unlock these guys. I unlocked the fucking Tetrative Reconstructor, and I was in the middle of like farming resources and waiting idle for these guys to get unlocked. And I think I saved and quit the game. But I guess at some point I must have hit abandon instead by accident. Though it does give you a fucking confirmation, so I'm kind of confused about this. I thought I just saved and quit. But I don't know. For some fucking reason, Salt Flats got reset. So I guess we need to reconquer this for some goddamn reason. Let me do this real quick off camera, I suppose. Okay, sector captured. Cool. Hi, Future Grayson here. I'm actually editing this video right now as we speak, and I had to sit here long and hard and think about whether I was actually even going to include this footage. But, you know, the first time I saw it in the editing process, I actually kind of laughed out loud. So I figure it's entertaining enough for you guys to for me to basically leave this in. Just full warning, full disclosure. Please don't roast me too hard in the comments for what you're about to see, because it's pretty fucking stupid, and it makes me look pretty fucking stupid. So I hope you enjoy this. Alrighty. I believe that is everything clear. I also want to deal with these units. I definitely don't want units hanging around my distribution hub, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe them. It feels kind of fucked up, but, you know, unfortunately.
Ooh, that's kind of small. Yikes.
Fortunately, they have not, their purpose is served. You know what I mean? You have all done very, very well. I do appreciate your service, but also on the other hand, goodbye. Oh, come on, that was too close to my nucleus. Son of a bitch. All right, well, I guess this is my fucking just desserts for trying to kill all my units. Wow, that's not incredibly annoying. I better not lose this fucking sector again. If I lose this sector for a third time, I might fucking lose it. Please, no. Please stop. Please do not burn down. Why is the core flammable if it has flammable shit in it? Why is it not covered? No, please, I don't want to do this again. Please don't. God damn it. Ah! Alrighty. Third time appears to be the charm. Apparently, when my core exploded, and I will admit that was by my own fault, when my core exploded, it did not become an enemy base. It became a wave defense. It was a 30 wave defense. So it wasn't like insanely convoluted for me to do that again, but I'm still not happy about that. And I admit that was my own fault. I detonated a fucking thorium reactor way too close to my own nucleus. I get that. Doesn't mean that I'm not upset about it though. So, let's go ahead and build out our goddamn distribution hub for the second time. Not happy about this, but again, we'll go ahead and do this again. It's fine. Alright, so I got all of the launch pads up and running. Again, I copied my same design from last time. In my head, I was like, I wonder if I can get 8 launch pads and get like even more export throughput. But then I was like, I don't think I can physically get enough exporters attached to my base to do that. Which kind of sucks, unfortunately. Because I'd love to run 8 launch pads here. I'm kind of curious how other people do this. Kind of wonder if... I've seen a couple designs of people who have, like, this very intricate, like, logic run grid network that they basically... And they basically, like, store everything in vaults. And they have way more launch pads than I do. But I think this is okay. 4 launch pads is 1,200 resources each. I feel like that's enough per minute. I don't know. I might be calculating this wrong, but I feel like 2 unloaders onto one plastanium belt does break down into 2 titanium belts relatively easily. I mean, I guess I could space these guys out and get a 3rd exporter attached to these vaults, but I mean, I'm like, that's not sustainable long term, because once the vault's empty, the unloaders from the core are gonna struggle keeping up. So I don't know. I feel like this design's okay. I do need to think about power. Obviously, impact reactors work. We have seen impact reactors, and they work quite well. I'm kind of curious if there's a better way for us to do this. I mean, impact reactors are like 7,800 power units per second. And all that requires is blast compound and cryofluid. I wonder how many RTG generators you'd need to physically fuel all this stuff. Let's go ahead and do the math real quick. So we have 4 launch pads times 16 is 64. I think we came to the conclusion that if a launch pad uses 240 power units per second, that means that 64 launch pads would use about 16,000 power units per second, which is why we had 4 impact reactors. That way we could hit that mark. If we needed 16,000 power units per second, how many is that in RTG generators? Because an RTG generator is 270 power units per second, right? So I'd need... Well, I mean, that's super easy math. Because the launch pads use 240, so I would need at least 1 RTG generator per launch pad, right? So I need at least 64 RTG generators. I almost feel like that's easier than impact generators. This is so fucking stupid. That almost sounds like it's easier to set up than 4 impact generators. And I could siphon the thorium off of this. I could just put a vault here and then unload thorium into literally an entire swath of RTG generators. You know what else I could do? Don't we have scrap here? There is scrap here, right? There is. How much is it? I haven't tried out the disassemblers yet. They're the machines that break scrap down into thorium. How much scrap do we have on this map? Because I could totally do RTG generators instead of impact reactors. Just 64 RTG generators. There is not a lot of scrap on this map. Yeah, there's not much, and it is kind of underneath all my launch pads. So maybe I just unload... Yeah, that kind of sucks. All the scrap is like underneath my launch pad design, unfortunately. I have very, very, very little scrap left. Yeah, I got all of this, I guess. Yeah, most of it's underneath my launch pads. There's a bunch of it under here. I mean, that might be enough for a full belt, but still. I mean, I might just do this. I think I'm just going to do this instead. Yeah, I'll just do this instead. So I'm just gonna plastanium conveyor up into... Can these go directly into launch pads? Or directly into RTG generators? I do not know. How do you feel about this? Will an RTG generator take this directly off of a plastanium belt? Because I might just set up an entire like flower of... Yeah, you totally will. Okay, cool. So what? This is gonna be fucking silly, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's funny, and I don't want to set up an impact generator system again. Because then you have to set up cryo fluid, and I have to route titanium over there, and then you have to set up pyrrhotite into blast compound, and that requires spores, which is like, it's a whole fucking thing. You know what I mean? So why don't I just set up 64 RTG generators up here and call it a day? All right. So I counted it out. That is 64 RTG generators. That doesn't look like that many. Like, as far as the footprint is concerned, this feels cleaner to me than setting up impact reactors. I don't know why that's so funny to me. Holy shit. Alright, so once all 64 of these are done, I can set up like a battery bank over here, and then I can just pipe the power down. This feels less intrusive than impact reactors. I actually am digging this. Like, not even joking. Now, this is going to cut into my thorium supply. I kind of want to figure out a way to get thorium built on site. So, if you do the math, to be totally honest with you, I think this is going to be more than a titanium belt's worth of thorium, basically. But an RTG generator burns 1 thorium like every 14 seconds, I believe. Let me double check that real quick. So these guys are all good. Yeah, that should be solid. Yeah, as long as one of them is touching, I don't think we care about multiples. Yeah. So if you do the math on the RTG generator, these guys eat 1 thorium every 14 seconds, which means that they basically use... I mean... I actually need a calculator for this. I can't do decimal division in my head. So 1 thorium every 14 seconds means 1 divided by 14 is 0.071 times 64 is 4.5. So I only need 4.57 thorium per second to fuel all of this? That can't be right. Let me run that one more time. 1 thorium every 15 seconds, 1 divided by 14 is 0.071 thorium per second. And if I have 64 generators, that's 4.571. That's 4.6 thorium per second. That's all it takes to fuel this? God, RTG generators are fucking amazing. Where are these been all my life? I need 4.5 thorium to fuel this. That's it. So, like, all I need to do is just figure out a way to get 4.5 thorium per second up here. I mean, surely this scrap here is enough, right? How much? I haven't tried these out yet. But what are they called? The separator separates slag into copper, lead, graphite, and titanium. The disassembler separates slag into graphite, sand, titanium, and thorium. How much thorium does it produce per second? It produces one of these every quarter of a second, right? I mean, 1 in 4 chance of getting thorium, that's roughly 1 thorium every 4 seconds. So I'm going to need at least 4 of these, 5 of these, basically, fueled in order to get what I need. I mean, if I have to move all of this over and shift this over all the way over here, I will totally rebuild this all the way over here in order to get access to all that scrap. That way I can, that way I can run the disassemblers and turn that into thorium. I will do that. I have no qualms doing that. This is kind of interesting, actually. Give me a second. Cool. So this is a very this is very factorial looking in the way that it looks like essentially a fucking rainbow sushi belt. But it does work. I basically just copy and pasted the entire design over here. Looks interesting. I appear to have missed one. Oops. No, I totally fucked up. Where did I fuck up? Okay. This should fix it. It's gonna be a little weird because there's gonna be kind of a clog of weird resources as sort of like a back front. I could take them out, I guess. I could delete all the vaults and then re-add them, right? I'm sure it'll be fine. So, that should be good. So we have a very rainbow sushi belt. I kind of want to illuminate this, to be totally frank with you. This actually looks kind of cool. That does actually look pretty fucking sick. So, let's go ahead and get the scrap separator stuff going. I think this should be enough for a full titanium. It's gonna be close. If I need more scrap, I can get more scrap. I was thinking about it while I was, those belts look awful. I was thinking about it while I was building the new rainbow sushi belts. I totally could have just, pulled scrap from my line. Like, I'm not concerned about scrap at all. I 100% could have and should have just pulled scrap from my line. From here, because I'm not concerned about sending scrap almost anywhere. I don't even know why the fuck I'm sending it anywhere in the first place. I really should just be processing it here. But you know what? That's okay. We'll go ahead and make this work. So just to kind of keep everything tucked in the corner and keep everything kind of nice and neat, I'm gonna try to put. So this thing not only needs scrap, it also needs slag. So each of these needs 7.2 slag per second, and they need 4 scrap per second. So I'm only going to be able to run 3 of these off of a single titanium belt in the first place, right? I wonder if 3 is enough for all the thorium I need. So only thorium is being produced. It doesn't look like a lot. I'm going to be totally frank with you. That does not look like a lot. And I definitely am probably going to I definitely need to get some more scrap up here. Like, that's just 100% true. How close is scrap to the edge of the belt? Scrap is actually right here. So I could just move this entire setup over here and funnel it upwards. That way it's kind of out of sight and out of mind. And I might do that, actually. Because this... Yeah, so this is not producing anywhere near enough scrap for this. Apparently this process requires a fuckload of scrap. So I definitely am going to have to tap into my scrap resources, which is fine. But now that I know how it works, I'm going to go ahead and tap into my scrap reserves, basically. I'm not concerned about the scrap being sent literally bumfuck anywhere else. Like, I don't think it's going to be useful in almost any respect, and I'd rather not. I want to keep this place as clean as possible. One of the things that I dislike a little bit about this game is that there is no way to put down flooring. There might be mods that add it, but like one of the things that I severely dislike is that there's no way for me to put down like metal flooring, you know, that kind of thing, because this looks messy and janky. And I know it doesn't affect any of your buildings and structures, but it would be nice to clean this up. You know what I mean? Like in Satisfactory or Factorio, the ability to place down flooring would be kind of cool. Yeah, maybe this is not sustainable, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm gonna trash this, and I'm gonna set up impact reactors again. Kind of sucks, but you know, it was a funny idea, and at least I tried.